we're going to unveil this plaque now. The plaque is dedicated to all those from the area who fought for Irish independence. My name is Liam O'Culbord, and I'm a member of the National Graves Association. The NGA may not be familiar to everybody, but we trace our lineage back to 1867 and the Fenian Rising. After the Fenian Rising, there was a monument committee set up, and that kind of morphed through a couple of guises, and then in 1926 we were officially established. We changed our name a couple of times. So we trace our lineage back to the Fenians. On our first committee we had a number of Fenians, notably J.W. O'Byrne and James Stritch, who both stayed with the NGA until their deaths. Okay, the NGA does, it's not affiliated to any political party. We kind of stand alone, and we take pride in that. So we're going to move on now to the unveiling. I'm going to call on Michael Burke, Charles Murtagh and Christy Murtagh are going to unveil the plaque. Do you want to take some photographs there, lads? So the plaque is it's a collaboration between the campaign for the erection of the plaque was led by Michael Burke, a local parishioner, in conjunction with Father John Ennis from the parish and the National Graves Association. So now we're going to ask Father John Ennis to step forward, and he's going to bless the plaque and I might say a prayer. Oh, thank you. It's going to be beautiful now, though.
Loving God, we remember all who gave their lives in one way or another for our society, for our community. We pray that they would have had peace in your love, that we would continue living our lives in generosity and the service of one another, and build up the community here in our conservation and throughout the country. We make our prayers with Christ our Lord. Amen. Our matter, at all now, the name of God, the dog of the real, the name to the hill and dollar, and the name to the now. Honor all they who are further than you. Smart here in our vehicle. Mara Rahmud no Kabatun of fame. It's not issue about the obsession of it. Hail Mary, full of grace, for all that you do. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Glory of Patri, et Filio, et Spiritus Sanctus. See the right of the chicken, food, example, and save us as Lord.
Now we're going to call on Piper Eamon Walsh to give a lament. Okay, Glenn Uberoy and Philip McLeod are Paddy Lennon and Ish from the National Graves Association. And Paddy is going to recite the Corrogan and Cost and Nadag Shade.
Up the hair. Provisional government of the Irish Republic to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the past generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood. Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisation, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state. And we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government which have divided the minority from the majority in the past. Till our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland, and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women. The provisional government, hereby constituted, will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, John McDermott, P.H. Pearce, James Connolly, Thomas McDonough, Eamon Kent, and Joseph Plunkett.
Paddy. An isbed an príomh the Gwyn agus tá Sean O'Frailon from a Hortune and you. Sean Whelan now is the chairperson of the National Graves Association, and Sean is going to give the main oration. Pretty good Bristow.
I should forget the past. Forget about it.
but stirs up trouble. We hear that, we hear it again and again, and we hear it in different ways, but the same message. But we don't forget the past, because the past is an important part of our future. And we remember people like this, people who fought for Ireland, people who fought for Irish freedom, the patriots who are willing to give their lives. And in remembering them, they inspire us, give us strength to stand up for what is right, to express ourselves, to stand against what is wrong, against injustice. So the people who spread the message that you hear the media from time to time telling us to forget about these people, forget about the past, they're the people who want to maintain the status quo. They're the people who want Ireland's future to benefit them. They're the ones who tell us to forget about the past. But the National Graves Association, and those of you gathered here today, we remember them. We remember them all. We remember all of Ireland's patriot dead. And in the National Graves Association, we honour them, we commemorate them, and most importantly, we cherish them. Because in so doing, we remember their ideals, we remember what they stood for, and we remember what they were willing to sacrifice. We remember the words of patriots like Corey Pearse, who at the grave of O'Donovan Ross in 1915, when he spoke of the risen people, he warned the authorities at the time, beware of those who would take what ye would not give. He was speaking of the Irish people who would rise up against oppression. Inspirational words that serve us as well today as they did then. Because Irish people, when they're motivated, can stand up, and they can't stand against what's wrong and what's unjust, and they do. But those in power and privilege want us to forget people like this, because in so doing, it takes away the strength of the people to stand up against injustice. Who can read the words and know the lives of our past patriots like Mary McSweeney, Bobby Sands, or Donovan Rossa? Who can understand their sacrifice, their commitment, and actually say it's okay to have 5,000 children homeless in modern Ireland? Nobody can. Who can read the words of Corey Pearse and know his life and understand his commitment not only to Ireland but to the Irish people, to education and everything else? Who could know his sacrifice and understand his life and say it's okay to treat our young school teachers today as a commodity to be used and disused? So we gather here today at this monument for the people of this area who fought for Irish freedom. Now one of those was Michael Neville, and I'll just read you a short piece written by one of his comrades shortly after his death. Michael Neville, the gentlest and most inoffensive lad I ever had the privilege of knowing. He served as an intelligence officer with distinction in K Company Battalion 1 during the Tan War. He took part in the famous fight near the Metal Bridge on Tuesday evening, June 8, when 20 members of his company outfought 400 British soldiers who had them surrounded. Referring to the murder of his friend and comrade Captain Bernard Daly, Neville remarked to one of his closest friends, "God only knows who will be the next victim. Perhaps I might be selected to join Barney. But we must keep straight on until we vindicate the cause he died for, or if needs be, join him in martyrdom." Michael was arrested on the evening of September 21st, 1922 in the bar he worked at. He was conveyed to Portobello Garage, and his dead body was found in Gillespie Cemetery the following morning. There was a wayside memorial in Gillespie for Michael that's the part of the National Graves Association. One of the men honoured by this plaque here today, a man who fought for Irish freedom. And when people gather here or past this area, they see this monument, some will pause to reflect on the first people who dedicated to it. And they will realise that people like this who were able to stand up, ordinary people who led ordinary lives, who did extraordinary things and achieved extraordinary things and made extraordinary sacrifices. It can inspire us all. And perhaps people will think back to the other patriots who gave their lives for Irish freedom. back to the men of 98, the United Irishmen of 1798. When they were slain, either in battle or executed, many of the United Irishmen, or the majority of them, were buried in unmarked graves because the British authorities didn't want people to be able to have commemorations like this. But many of those men, when they were buried for clothes, they carried barley with them for sustenance. And in the springtime, in the years after they died, the barley grew. So people knew when there were sprouts of barley around Vinegar Hill and Escorty and places such as that they were actually at the grave of one of the patriot dead. So people went there and they prayed and they remembered. And many of them were inspired. And in their inspiration, some of them went on then to become Young Irelanders in 1848, and the Fenians of 1867, and the Invincibles of 1882, and on from generation to generation, as people remembered back of what was done by previous generations and use it as an inspiration for their own. And this is the very ethos of the National Graves Association. As Liam mentioned, the National Graves Association was first established in the 1870s. And the first event called the Young Irelanders Graves. And the first thing they did was to seek out and find as many unmarked graves of patriots as dead as they could find and to mark them. And in many years then, they held commemorations and monuments and so forth. They did an awful lot of work up until 1916. For obvious reasons, during 1916, the Pan War, the Civil War, the organisation ceased to function. In fact, the chairman of the Young Irelanders Graves and Monuments Committee prior to 1916 was John McBride, who was himself executed in 1916. But they came back together in 1926, as Lee mentioned, and they continued that work, and that work continues until today. At the moment, the National Graves has around 2,000 graves and monuments in our care. Some of them are small flats you'll see on buildings for historical buildings for Baptist places and so forth. And some of them are huge monuments, like the 1916 monument in Glasnevin Cemetery in the St. Paul section. But this monument here is unique because most of the other monuments, or all of them, are dedicated to individual Republicans or groups of Republicans of particular period of battles or so forth. This one is dedicated to the people of this area. So it's a special monument for the people of this area. And I must say that as we approach a time of commemorations and centenaries, as the Pan War comes up, the Civil War, First World War, we say that the National Graves encourages everybody to respect and in fact defends everybody's right to carry out commemorations of all people who fought in all battles on all sides. But in so doing, we believe that when we remember the past, the people who gave their lives and fought for Irish freedom deserve a special pride of place. That's the common thing that's done in virtually every country in the world. It's only in Ireland that some people argue that those who fought for their country's freedom and those who fought against them should be given parity and esteem. They should all be respected and they should be all treated and all monuments should be respected. But we believe that those who fought for Irish freedom, such as this monument commemorates, should have pride of place. So before I leave, I'll just say that National Graves have several ongoing campaigns at the moment. One of them is to Save Moore Street. That campaign's been on for a long time and we appreciate the support of the ordinary people. As I mentioned before, the people that Paulie Pierce was speaking about when he talked about beware of those who would take what you would not give. Because we will never stop the fight to save Moore Street. It's far too important. And we will win that eventually. But it's not because of the National Graves or the Relatives Committee who do so much work. It's because of the ordinary people from Dublin and the rest of Ireland who, in their thousands, tens of thousands, have come to Moore Street to support that campaign anytime the threat of demolition is there. So that goes on. At the moment, there's another campaign. The National Graves Association has set up a subcommittee to help the remains of the Invincibles, the guys who are still buried in Kilmarnock Road, reinterred in the group in a respectful place. So we'll appreciate your support on that. So before I go, I'll just say thank you very much indeed to everybody for coming. And it's a privilege to be associated with this monument. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to call on Eamon Rowan to lay the wreath. Thanks, Emma. Okay, so if we will meet talking about Dini follow her live with you on the Carolina or Beatrice involved all over. A couple of people that we would like to thank for arranging today's occasion. Michael Burke, who led the campaign and put in so much time and effort. I think he really deserves a round of applause. Father John Ennis for helping us get the monument erected and giving us the place. The plaque itself was made by Glasnevin Monument Works, and we'd like to thank Robbie McGowan at Glasnevin. It's a fine piece of work. We'd like to thank everybody that came out today. There are a couple of representatives, there's local councillors, but a million more of us chap. I just paranoid on popular fog. The general public that came along today, it's a cool enough day, it's blustery. Poor old Eamon, I'm sure, was feeling the cold there. So trick only the mission how on the vein. Well, if we could just encourage everybody to sing along, please.